Good evening and welcome once again to this late night show. Typically on nights like these, Umbra and I go over all the games we played, our highlights, and some final insights about what we're doing in the new year. But that's not what tonight's broadcast is going to follow. I've already listed all the updates and upcoming news that revolves around the channel in yesterday's lineup video, so if you are interested about information regarding 2026, then that's available to you.
So why did you call me out here then? Can I go back to sleep?
Well, it's not like I don't want to discuss, but rather I want to change topics tonight. For the past decade, since January 2016, I have been using the same computer setup. It's been a very long journey with my old i5 CPU and 1060 GPU, but I am very satisfied with finally moving on towards new hardware. As of this video, you can expect literally higher quality videos as I have tested, and I'm able to record, encode, and upload at pretty much the highest qualities. I will still be playing games at 1080p or maybe 1440p, just because 4K gaming is really not necessary, and I honestly don't think current tech is capable enough to keep up with it alongside stable frame rates. With that said, there are now a lot of opportunities available to me, which I'm still processing at the moment. It's only been like a week since I set up my new PC. I've had a good system before where I would record an entire series and then batch encode it in Media Encoder while I slept and then went to work. This is because the encoding process would typically take half a day or more, depending on how many episodes. Each episode was a 1-for-1 ratio, so if it was a 1-hour video, then the encode probably took just as long. However, with this new setup, I now have myself an Ultra 9 CPU and a 9070 XT, which have vastly increased my productivity. The same 1-hour videos that I recorded could now be encoded with maximum settings in less than 5 minutes, and I'm still coming to terms about how efficient I can be now that I'm working towards creating a new framework around my workload management. Hopefully I can have more series on the channel at the same time. I'm still working on this, but this in fact leads me into my next topic that I want to discuss, and that is game selection. Naturally, since I was running my old setup, I have had to be very selective in the games I can not only record, but also play in my leisure. Titles like Uncharted, God of War, and Hogwarts Legacy were really pushing my setup, and I'm glad that I don't have those constraints anymore. This means that I can actually start buying more modern games and start playing same year releases even, which is great. I have all the tools to succeed at maximum capacity, and so at this time I wanted to share my intent for this channel and quickly discuss the future. Over these past 2 years of consistent YouTube integration in my life, my vision for this channel is for it to act as an archive for myself. I'm a very conceited individual and I keep to myself. Anime and video games are essentially the two focal constructs in my life, and I intend to pretty much keep doing what I'm currently doing for the rest of my life, or as long as I'm able. When I come to the idea of preserving my experiences, I wanted to do YouTube because I would be able to store all my gaming experiences in one place and I could download them whenever. So it was like having an unlimited cloud storage for my journey. The thing is though, I pretty much missed out on all single-player game releases until 2020. If it's not obvious, I played Blade & Soul, a Korean MMO for 5 years straight from 2016 to 2020. Let's just say I was very dedicated to the game, and I enjoyed it a lot. If I could replay those years, I definitely would, but truthfully, it was the only game I played, and it made me realize how many great experiences I didn't have time for. Great thing though, is that single-player games never go out of style like live service titles, so when I eventually quit BNS in 2020, I created a list of all the games that I had an interest in, and made a plan for myself to catch up and complete them all before 2030. A decade deadline seems rather generous, I thought, but despite anime and video games being my entire life, I'm halfway through that plan now, and while I'm making considerable progress every year, I don't think I'll make that goal without either rushing, which will diminish my personal game enjoyment, or cutting games off the list altogether. Which is why, with this new computer setup, I can hopefully turn 2026 into a blueprint for attempting to complete double the games that I did for the subsequent years. While that sounds ambitious, I do have a prototype plan for how I'm going to make this work. Despite the many series on the channel every year, I do play and progress other single-player titles in my personal time. These are mainly games or franchises that I believe aren't as entertaining to watch or are too small in scope. That being said, the real total amount of archive games that I've played this year is 16, which is a bit more than how many I listed in the lineup. So let's say everything goes according to plan, and by 2030 I'm all caught up on games and the journey is now stagnant until new releases of interest arrive. Well, that's perfectly fine, because there are a lot of other projects and hobbies I want to engage in that I want to make future content on. Just to list a few, because this is very far off. I want to get into cosplay, 3D printing, and I have plans to create one mega music video that will include all of the games, or at least most of them, that I've played when the journey reaches its end. Additionally, I do have a personal project this year that is a series I want to hopefully launch sometime in early summer. Don't expect anything concrete or outstanding. It's a game, but it's not in the lineup, so I'm not sure if it'll happen or not, depending on how I handle my affairs this coming spring. Before we close off tonight, let's talk a bit about the present. I've gone off long enough about the past and the future, but how was 2025? It was busier than 2024 for sure. Blue Protocol Star Resonance really threw me off my schedule because of how seasonal the content is. It kept me pretty much busy from October to November, I would say, to the very end. It's an MMO, but a lot of its systems are gacha formatted, which makes the content easy and quick to digest, but more time sensitive, which honestly has me treating it more like a gacha game. That being said, the actual titles we played this year were phenomenal. The Trails in the Sky trilogy was a fantastic saga, and I'm so glad I finally got to it. It's my most anticipated franchise that I'm getting back to in 2026. The most outstanding title this year has to be Neo: The World Ends With You, without a question. That game has so much style, passion, and entertainment packed into it that is both charismatic and memorable. Other honorary mentions go to Lost Judgment, which I'm very sad to hear will probably not get another entry for a very long time, and Blue Reflection Second Light for being PC Crash of the Year game. And that's going to have to wrap it up for 2025. The possibility to play any game is now in my hands, and I intend to put that to use fully. But while I've been busy behind the scenes, Umbra has prepared a final send-off to our 2025. I will see you next year.